What is up, everybody? It's Dan, Binder Boneyard, coming at you from the office. Like always, the home office has turned into the guest room / my antique junk storage room. So as much as I wanted to record these from home, I'm not sure I'm ever going to be able to. But hopefully you guys are having a good day. I am recording this on Father's Day, so hopefully you guys had an enjoyable Father's Day. I am fortunate enough to have both of my parents still alive. I know a lot of you guys, especially people I follow online, there's a lot of remembrance posts and stuff. So, for everybody out there without your dad, sorry for your loss. Hopefully you're remembering and yeah, but like I said, I'm fortunate enough to have both my parents still. I don't talk to them as much as I should probably, but you know how it goes. So anyway, appreciate everybody. Thanks for listening. Thanks for following along. Thank you for liking, subscribing, sharing, and all of that. I really do it for you guys. And speaking of that, this last week, 2 weeks actually, we were gone at the Nationals show in Ohio, Springfield, Ohio, and I met a lot of you guys there, a lot of listeners that had some good feedback. Appreciate everybody. Several of you gave me money because you don't do the internet money thing, so that was appreciated as well. Scott Colbreth got the SS2 registry. If you've got an SS2 or just interested in them, you go online, look up Scott's SS2 registry. He's got several of them, and I've known Scott for a while now. Good guy, real nice guy, great to deal with. Scott Stroud, did not see him at the show, but he runs a powder coat business and has also donated generously to the pirate ship here. So appreciate you guys. And then just a lot of other people that just came up and said that they listened and enjoyed them and gave me some more ideas and that kind of thing. So I greatly appreciate that as well. So it was good seeing everybody. It's good seeing the people that don't like me. That's a funny phenomenon that happens where people don't particularly care for me or my business, but they think that my black truck is cool, especially with the Eagle decal on it now. And so people were like low key kind of cold shouldering me and then going and taking pictures of my truck. So I thought that was kind of funny. But anyway, so yeah, this episode, we're just going to get into the ins and outs of our Nationals trip. And then we'll, cover whatever, but, yeah, so, the lead up to Nationals is always crazy. We're running around trying to get parts pulled, try to get the best of the best to make a good trip. We never know what to take. No matter what we take, it's always wrong. People are always asking for stuff we didn't bring. And then you go, oh, when we get home, we can ship it to you. And they go, nah, never mind. Like, well, I guess you didn't want it that bad. So, but yeah, so we're running around like crazy. I had a couple of my part-time guys build some racks on wheels. Took some 2x4s and made some uprights, and we were able to stand fenders and doors upright on wheels, so that when we got to the showgrounds, we were able to just unload at least that was the plan. One of the racks that Josie built was pretty much all Scout stuff, and that rack got emptied out pretty much immediately. There were guys crawling all over the trailer while we were unloading. It was kind of, zombie apocalypse. I was like, Jesus, just let us get unloaded, But guys are like, do you have this? Do you have that? What's in there? Do you need help? Like, just give us a minute. We'll get it unloaded, and then you can look at it. But anyway, so we built some racks. We toted stuff in a way that made for easy unloading and display. Took some different stuff this time that I gambled on, and it paid off. Some of the grills, and we had a 1980 grill that was a little bit questionable, but way better than what a lot of the stuff out there is. So yeah, that was good. Just got, like I said, just loaded up, did a bunch of maintenance on the black truck, oil changes, greasing, tightened up a few things, fixed one of the problems I have with the black truck, or we've been calling it the Screaming Eagle, so I may go back and forth on that name. But one of the problems I have with the Eagle is that the belt, with my alternator set up, the belts like to flop around a little bit. They don't run straight, and I don't know how to describe it. They're straight. They're not pulling crooked or anything like that, but they kind of flop around a little bit. Not across the top. It's just the long side that goes from the alternator back down to the crank. And we've tightened the alternator up, and you can over tighten that stuff. So I try not to go crazy because I don't want to burn up the bearing on the alternator, but the belt will get to flopping around a little bit, and it'll actually touch one of the hoses for the lower coolant inlet hose. And if you followed on any of the social medias, you saw that it rubbed through last year on our way to Fall Rally. It actually whacked around enough that it rubbed through one of the hoses. So I tried to repair it, reroute the hose a little bit, give it a little bit more room, but it still just didn't work. And the only other thing I can think of is either to relocate the alternator or put in some sort of idler that carries the belt a little bit to keep it from slapping. And I didn't have time to rig up a bracket and everything else that goes along with that. So I just changed the hose in question to a piece of aluminum tubing, because the whole system is aluminum. The whole cooling system, because the radiator's in the back, is aluminum tubing with hose couplers at various flexible points, or just junctions where if you needed to take it out, you could. And so I got rid of the 90-degree hose elbow that was being rubbed through and replaced it with a 90-degree aluminum elbow, then two little short pieces of hose. And that seemed to fix it, because the aluminum tube is a smaller diameter, and then also if the belt does touch it, of course it's not going to rub through it. So there were some black marks on that aluminum tube by the end of the trip, so I know the belt was still getting out there. But so that is peace of mind. Like, I'm not stoked that it's rubbing on it. That's not good design, and I hate to leave it that way. But at the same time, we were under a time crunch, and I had to just do what I had to do to get it reliable, because we put like 5,000 miles, over 5,000 miles on the truck in 8 days or something like that. So I just needed something that I wouldn't have to worry about, because I'm going to have a million other things to worry about while I'm going down the road. So did that to the truck, cleaned it out, got it ready, put the platform on the back seat for the dog bed and the dog stuff. So that you just got the black truck trip ready. Same with the trailer. Just I added some more E-track to the floor, and I bought some bracketry to mount 2x4s to the E-track, so that it made for easier loading and storage. And those ended up being a lifesaver. Really great. I wish I'd done that years ago. And then, greasing the bearings and kind of getting everything on the trailer up to snuff. If you follow for any amount of time, you know that I kind of overdo everything. Like, my favorite saying is, it's not just good, it's good enough. And I hate good enough. So all of my trailers, like the big enclosed trailer, is 28 feet, and it's 14,000 pound rated. And when I first got it, everybody was like, what are you doing with that behemoth? Because it's big. It is 8 feet wide. It is legally, whatever the legal limit is, wide. And it's 6 inches over height compared to your standard car trailer. And so it's just a monster. It weighs 4,000 pounds on its own, just empty. And, but I wanted that for the versatility. Like, I can haul a travelette. I could haul a long bed travelette in that trailer and still have room at the front for merchandise or whatever. So I wanted this trailer for the versatility, because I didn't know, like when we go to these shows, I haul a lot of stuff. We take a ton of parts because, like I said, if someone's going to ask for something random, I like to have a lot of variety. I just like to be prepared like that. So all my stuff is overkill, like the trailer being 14,000 pound rated. I've only 2 times since I've owned it in the 10 years or 9 years I've had it, has it been loaded to capacity. But that being said, heavy duty means it can handle crap like the Indiana highway system. I'm sorry if you live in Indiana and you love your state, you guys got to do something about your goddamn highways. The amount of damage, like as soon as you cross into Indiana from Illinois on I-70, I think that's where it was. Definitely I-70. I just don't remember what state I crossed in on. It was terrible. And I don't just mean like, chop here and there, some like, rough sections or whatever. I am talking about full on sections of highway missing, like wheelbarrow size holes in the road that you just, if it's dark, like for us, we were going through in the dark and I couldn't avoid it. Like, you're doing 70 because the black truck does 70, and it just comes up, no matter how good your headlights are or whatever, you don't have enough time to react except to clench your butthole and hope to God that the back tire on the trailer stays on, because I know it came off the ground once or twice. Like, we hit some stuff hard, and thank God, no flat tires, no wheel problems, nothing with the truck. And that's the other thing, the Eagle's got Dodge Dana 60 front end, and it's got the Dana 70 HD in the back. That's a 10,000 pound GVW axle in the back. So it can handle that stuff. And like, I run wheel spacers to run the bigger tires on the dualies, and I could have got the $90 aluminum spacers, but I got the $400 steel spacers that they use on well drilling equipment and other heavy use trucks, because I just knew that I was going to be subjecting this truck to a lot of abuse, and so it's all peace of mind. But so The drive across the country was pretty, after we loaded up and we were loaded, the drive across the country was pretty uneventful, really. Weather was decent, hit some terrible rainstorms in Wyoming, dropped down in Nebraska. All that was good. We had rigged up a platform in the trailer where we had an air mattress in our bed. So we were able to sleep in the trailer, just pull over and sleep wherever, which was super nice. Just really convenient. Someday I'll probably end up having like a toy hauler set up where, it's like the back half is merchandise and the front half is a RV. Kind of like John Glancy's book trailer. I'm not sure if anybody's ever seen that. It's like a big, like a Bloomers, where the back half is a horse trailer and the front half is an RV, but it's a car hauler kind of thing. So that's probably where I'll end up when the big R190 gets built, and I'll have a truck that's capable of pulling that kind of weight. I mean, the black truck would probably pull it, but it wouldn't be stoked. I just know that DT360 is not enough motor in stock form to pull a 15,000 pound toy hauler, and that's empty. So then you add another 7,000 pounds of gear or car or whatever. So I just know the black truck wouldn't be up for that. It would do it, but I would feel bad about pushing it that hard. So like I said, I would have the R190 medium duty truck build would be done to pull a trailer like that. But anyway, sleeping in the trailer was great. Very comfortable compared to sleeping in the back seat of the truck, which I couldn't do because that's where the dog was. So yeah, Josie did a great job setting all that up. She had also pre-cooked a lot of food because we're still on the healthy living diet. So, or the 1930s diet, I should say. So no truck stop food, no cookies, cakes, pastries, no, it's just straight meat, vegetables, fruit, that kind of thing. So she pre-cooked a bunch of bacon, hard-boiled a bunch of eggs, that kind of thing. Had a lot of carrots and vegetables cut up for us already. So that was a lifesaver as far as just, food on the road. Because when I'm moving down the road, like, I don't like to stop a lot. Surprise, surprise. And so, having all that stuff at our fingertips was really nice. But yeah, the truck did great pulling the passes in Wyoming. Didn't get hot. Got some big rainstorms, but Nebraska was good. A couple of rainstorms in Nebraska. It's funny going through the country this time of year because normally we go back later in the summer, and by then the corn is all 7 feet tall and you can't see anything. So this time the corn was only a foot tall and you could see all the farms and all the stuff. And so it was a nice change of scenery. Because normally like I-80 through Nebraska and stuff like that is just pretty boring because all you're seeing is a wall of green corn and the tops of barns. So to see the communities and stuff, it was pretty nice. But yeah, made it into Ohio, uneventful, got to the showground early for once, started to unload, and we found out that someone had said that the swap meet was going to be on asphalt, but it wasn't. We were on gravel, and not just regular gravel, but like weird sized, like river rock mixed with 3/4 minus, like just a weird mixture of gravel and rock and stone. You East Coasters call it stone, I guess. And so unloading our carts was tough because one of them had too small of wheels and we couldn't roll it very well in the gravel. So it was a little bit of a challenge to unload that stuff. But once we got the rack set up, people were really impressed with them and thought it was really neat. And I liked it because people could actually look at the part they wanted, hold it in their hand and then put it back where it was, instead of just having everything piled up on the ground. So it definitely worked out a lot better. Josie's stuff on the table came out great. Lots of chrome, a lot of mirrors. We sold a bunch of emblems and truck mirrors and things like that. So it was good to see everybody. A lot of people came over initially. John Glancy from Super Scout and Jeff from IH Parts America, Nelson from IH Gear, and Sean from Anything Scout, of course. I got to look at the race truck again. Spent a lot of time with Sean. I'm really enjoying developing that friendship, because I'm not sure early on how he felt about us. I haven't asked him about it, but I'm not sure. Like a lot of people, I'm not sure how they felt about us kind of coming onto the scene, because the more, you can only put so many straws in one cup, and the more IH businesses pop up, the lower the water level gets. And so I understand why maybe people weren't stoked about us years ago, but we're becoming a fixture in the community, and so I think a lot of people have just accepted it and whatnot. But anyway, I got to see all these guys, and we sold really well on that Friday, and then came back for Saturday and was selling pretty good. Sold a lot of our new stuff, the medicine cabinets, the power brake kits, selling that stuff, the light bar brackets, like just good sellers there. I was invited to the quote unquote Ask the Experts roundtable discussion. That was always fun. I did that a couple of years ago. And it's interesting seeing how we're all kind of in our own wheelhouse. Like someone asked a question about LSs, and it handed the mic right to Mike Moore from Scoutco. And somebody asked a question about like maintenance on 44s, and it went to Jeff at IH Parts. And then someone asked a travel all question, and they just automatically handed the mic to me. So it's kind of funny to see how, we're all kind of starting to fill our niches a little bit more. I'm hoping to grow out of that. I'd like to be known as the well-rounded all IH shop and not just the truck and travel all guy. But, either way, I'm happy to be part of it. But that was fun. There's a lot of good questions. No one recorded it, which is also good, because I'm pretty sure I insulted the entire audience more than once, which is just what I do. So yeah, show was good. The hotel we were staying in was a little bit far away from the showground, so that was kind of you had to truck back and forth. But the hotel was nice. That's always an encouraging thing. It sucks when you work all day, talk all day, spend all day, hustling, and then you come back to some crappy, Super 9 motel, and you're like, you're chasing the roaches out of your bathroom. So yeah, so it was nice to come back to that. And then, yeah, man, we just packed up early Sunday morning because of weather forecast said it was going to be terrible. And it was, man. They said it was supposed to start raining at 11, and like 11:05 it started raining. So we got packed up just in time and got out. I worked a deal with Ryan at Harvester Homecoming to let us drop our bulky merchandise at the Fort Wayne Museum, because we will be back in Fort Wayne in August. And so Ryan let me drop all the big carts of stuff there, because we still have a bunch of D-Series doors and fenders that we didn't sell. So drop those at Homecoming and some other stuff. And then we headed north to Chicago and went through Chicago to McHenry, Illinois, and picked up a travelette from a good customer there that we will be doing a full resto mod on, and it's exciting to see that he has a very nice collection, and I'm stoked to be part of that collection. So that'll be a fun one to do. And then headed down to Sycamore, Illinois, which is only about 45 minutes away from McHenry, and went to Tin Man's Garage. I've known Brian for a few years now. They do redonkulously high-end restoration and hot rod builds, and I mean like high-end, and they got the shop full of power hammers and planishing hammers and all the stuff to make every panel from scratch, and it's beautiful. So I went down there and showed Josie their shop and how their mezzanine setup is and how everything's on wheels and all that. And so she thought that was cool. I picked up some tools from Brian, some radius gauges and things, so we could up our sheet metal game here as well. Because being the truck and travel all guy, we got to make this stuff from scratch a lot of times. And so, having the right tools is important. So we went down after Sycamore, headed down into Iowa. We swung by Antique Archaeology, which is the storefront for American Pickers. I guess they have a couple of stores, but the one in Iowa was the first one, I guess. So went there, looked at some of their stuff. It was interesting, kind of neat seeing a few things. Gave us some ideas for our own store and our own setup. But yeah, Josie wanted to see that. We've both enjoyed that show, and it's neat. So it was cool to see some of the stuff you remember seeing from the shows. When you're like, oh, I remember the episode where they got that, and then you see it in their showroom, and it's kind of neat. And so after that, one thing I wanted to say was that yes, we're on our diet. We're trying to be healthy and conscious and just eat like you would have eaten 100 years ago. But also we did go to Waffle House twice. So, but you got to live a little bit. And no, I did not get my hash browns Captain Covered. I just got them straight. But I did have a waffle with a lot of syrup. And it was wonderful. And I do enjoy our trips back east because, Waffle House is just one of those institutions that you have to visit. You got to be part of. So love the Waffle House. But anyway, so we headed home, stayed at a couple hotels. We decided to take the scenic route through Nebraska. Back up. Iowa. We stayed in Avoca, Iowa, which is where Farmall Land used to be before they closed up, retired. But we went to Walnut, which is Antique City. That's what they call that on the highway. Rolled through a couple of antique stores there, ate breakfast there. Picked up a couple more of the green barn lights that I'm madly in love with. And Josie saw some stuff and we bought a few things. I don't like to spend a lot of money on these trips because I don't know what could happen. I might have to dump $1,000 on a tow truck or something. So I try to limit my fun expenditures on when we're on these trips. But anyway, got some stuff there, just had fun. It's just neat to walk through these old towns and see stuff and talk to some old timers. And then so then we headed out, went through Nebraska, took the Lincoln Highway through most of Nebraska, which is a really nice drive. You go through a lot of small towns, and you hit the back sides of the larger towns like Sydney and Ogallala. So you kind of see them from a different angle. So I encourage you to take the Lincoln Highway through Nebraska instead of just I-80. And then, yeah, back up into Wyoming and stayed in Laramie and then headed home. The highway was closed outside of Ontario, Oregon, on your way to Burns. So we took the super scenic route around, went through Jordan Valley, which is a really tiny rodeo town, ranching town out in the middle of nowhere, Eastern Oregon. If you are on social media, check out my pictures from there on Instagram. Kind of neat. And then made it home. Got home at like 1 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday or Thursday morning, I guess. So yeah, it was a drive. Definitely put the miles on the truck. I'm happy how everything went. Truck did great. Trailer did great. The stuff rode pretty good. Josie's a trooper. Couldn't have done it without her. The dog did fine. A lot of stuff. So I'm stoked about how everything went. But anyway, so that was the extent of our nationals trip. Thanks to John Glancy for his whole crew for putting on the national show. All the people we saw there, Sean and Jeff and my brother from another mother, Michael. Just everybody. I'm sorry if I left you out, but grateful to see everyone. Thanks for all of the support and love, and it was just awesome. And so we'll be back in August for the Harvester Homecoming. But anyway, appreciate everybody. I'm going to wrap this up. So thanks again for all of it. And until next time, I'm Dan from Binder Boneyard.